So right now it's around 3:45 in the morning. Yeah. So I just came up with this build. I was watching a bunch of YouTube videos and I actually kind of came up with the build myself. I'm not going to say I take full credit, but I know for a fact that I did make up the chromatic dash build or the exalted dash, which was my original, which got a lot of views on YouTube, which is nice. But we're going to be taking a look at Excalibur's chromatic, let's just say a chromatic condition dash or something like that. Something really corny like that. We'll just call it conditioning dash or whatever, something like that. Something really corny. Or I'll just title the excal build just like super overpowered excal build. And so this is the Galatine Prime build. I would honestly recommend putting a Forma in it for another V or a dash. I'd say a V for the future Blood Rush kind of thing, but condition overload is going to be your main thing here. You get 60% melee damage for each status type affecting the target. Now I could, get some more status effects. Like if I wanted to, I could change my color to like a purple. We could change it to like a purple or something. Which still gonna be fire. Kind of doesn't make sense, but let's change it to a lightning. Yeah, we'll change it to a lightning. So if we change it to a blue, we're going to see in this test, we're going to put much more status effects on it, but we won't have as much gas damage. But the key to this build, I told you guys, is basically just abusing your slashes and then going in for the actual kills. And even by this by itself, condition overload still transfers in a lot of damage, and as you can see, it just does a lot more damage. I could just end the video right now, but we're gonna explain into it why the dashes do so much damage. You never want to use your Galatine Prime as just a pure damaging melee weapon. Please don't do that. You're gonna be so slow. You're honestly gonna be super sluggish and slow. Also, to all the people who are complaining that I am still doing excal build, do not worry. I have a Silva and Aegis Prime build coming out in a couple days, and I'm also having a Jack Guitar coming out in about a week, because I still have to grind all the Forma, because I'm out of Forma. Why? But we'll spawn in 16. A deadly amount of enemies. As you can see, just one dash artist fucks him up. You're gonna see that condition overload pretty much just does too much work. But the only problem with this build is it just does not do as much. But let's say that we're gonna kill all enemies. Let's just say one thing. Let's just say, since we do have condition overload, our slash damage mods still, or slash dash mods still go out. Which means we have electric damage, or lightning, whatever you want to call it. Let's just call it arc for now. Which means, even by itself, without the slash dash, because the slash dash does take a good amount of damage, you're still doing a lot of toxin damage over time. So this build still really goes well together if this build still goes really well even without now by itself without any stealth mods added to it, not bad. Now, one thing that the lightning also adds, please don't get me wrong with this one, I know my stuff in Warframe, so don't treat me like I'm stupid, is the fact that we can actually proc a dash effect, or a lightning effect, to stun this guy. Once we do, we can go behind him, or he's going to finish me off right here. But if you do proc a successful stun, you will. Okay, that made less damage, but okay. As you can see, the Galatine doesn't do anything correct. But you know, if you want to, for whatever reason, use it as a, you can still kind of use that. But another build I want to show you, because I did also kind of plan for this too, is a speed build. A speed build that's meant for more low-level missions that just completely annihilates them without using a lot of energy. And this does not require surging dash in any regard at all. So first you want to grab yourself a weapon that will do you good. So we're just gonna use the broken scepter. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna be like, yeah, you know, yucky, 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 and do stuff like that. What requires next is we're gonna go some raw crit and speed, and we're gonna go. So these are 3 base mods. We're gonna obviously go for some speed. Next, we're obviously gonna go for a little bit of status effects, and you can go. Since I'm doing more low-level missions, I'm gonna go with corrosive. I'm also going to go with blood rush. I'm gonna go over to the dashes over here, and I'm gonna put in body count. Now, what I also could do is I can also go over to like the D, and place that in there. But I could also take these out and put some more useful mods in there. Like, so for, let's say, I can take out electricity, or I can take both these out, or all these out, and I can go over to the dash and only put in Fever Strike, because I already have electricity on it. That's the good thing about the Exalted or Chromatic Dash. Then we can also go for something like Drifting Contact, so we can get just a little bit of extra status chance. But we really don't need the status chance in there. And we do want crit. We do indeed want crit. Now, I just don't understand why people have to be like, because I've watched Distant Observer's video on his chromatic blade build, and I'm honestly, I don't want to be mean. I swear, I don't want to be mean, but I'm not impressed in any way possible, and I'm about to get flamed in the comments, but he's a good YouTuber. I'm gonna be honest. He's super good. He's one of my personal favorite Warframe YouTubers, and I honestly I came up with this build, and I was like, I gotta try it, and I'm not disappointed with my own build, so. But if you want, you can just kind of add this and stuff. It's not a completed build. Of course, I can use like a better melee weapon with more forma in it, like a Vanka Prime, for instance. Vanka Prime has 2 mod slots, or two polarities in it. So we're not going to be using Condition Overload. So let's say Berserker, Prime Pressure Point. We'll put Prime Fury. Same thing. We do not want reach because we all know his Exalted Blade just basically has infinite range. Drifting Contact, not really, but but we can basically we don't have to go pure elemental. Well, what we can do is we can also go a little bit extra status chance, even though the chromatic blade build already gives him 100% status chance if you have the certain amount of power strength for that. So I honestly want to go a little bit of crit damage, and then I want to add 2 dual stat mods in there for some extra corrosive damage. Now, like I said, this is an early game build, so this isn't going to be murking as much as you want it, but it's going to have a little bit more status chance in there. For the dual stat mods, but it's also going to have a lot of damage to kind of just screw with. So with this build, all you pretty much need is, I don't know why I have this range build. The range build is just there. So we're gonna build excal out for a basic build, please. Just a basic, your basic blind build with chromatic blade. This is the only thing you're going to need. So no, not continuity. Continuity is not going to be the only thing you're going to need, but we obviously want to get a good amount of duration in there. So if we take a look, I have 166% duration and efficiency, and then strength, right? So we basically want to do this entire build without the surging dash in there. So we go rank 8 streamline, and we'll go rank 4 streamline and rank 4 fleeting for a dank 175. We're gonna have negative durability, but if we go to Vazarin, we can put in narrow-minded, which will give us 176 durability. Take a look here. We can put blind rage in to we have to kind of counteract it, I guess. We'll put him chromatic blade, and we'll put blind rage in. We're gonna have a negative efficiency, so we're gonna take out these, and we're gonna put in the max versions of them, which is going to reduce me down to 166. That. What's the next one? So we, instead of surging dash, we can actually use something else to kind of aid us. We use intensify. We all know this is our OG power strength mod whenever we were playing the beginning of the game. So we have 12 mod spots to kind of just mod for whatever we want. We can put vitality in. This is honestly up to you. Now, I would usually put in surging dash, but in my case, if I have enough space, yes I do, I'm going to put in a prime flow. This is basically take out chromatic blade, put in a surging dash. This is my old excal build, but life has evolved. But so we'll take a look here. This is another build that I honestly recommend for the early game, and this just allows you to kind of. This is shout out to Distant Observer, by the way. You're gonna see here that this one also just completely murks because of that dank crit chance. You're gonna see you attack at the speed of sound. I can't even press the button fast enough to do it, but you're gonna see even without the blind, you're gonna just notice that you can still completely murk enemies even without that blind. And these are level 110, so. But yeah, so you can go a little crazy with this build, just a little. You can't go too crazy with this build. No. But this build is honestly has more fun than any other build in Warframe in my opinion, because you just have so much fun. You have so much swing speed and all that. And oh my god, why do you have to just be so mean to me? But yeah. So overall, these are some extreme builds that you can use with your excal, and you know, I'm kind of so used to that dash though, and yeah, I'm a failure of life. But you just saw there how powerful just that build was. That was a low level build, but if you put on this build is more punishing. This one, you're forced to stay in your Exalted Blade. You're forced to use your Warframe abilities even at the end game. So, and melee weapons aren't too meta, but you can always use them. And if you want, you can form your Galaxy out to get like a better mod. But Or we're gonna keep dodging, bobbing and weaving, but you're gonna see that this build, in my opinion, just completely wrecks more in terms of damage, and you're not gonna be swinging as fast. So if you want more of a quick, nimble playstyle, just use the older one. But this one just completely wrecks because of that condition overload, and because I have my chromatic blade out to have that third status. I'm gonna completely wreck some enemies. So here's how you initially apply it. You go to an enemy, you just dash up to them. You're gonna see, how does it affect multiple enemies? Every time you slash dash, my friend, every time you slash dash, you know what happens? An exalted blade projectile comes out whenever you hit an enemy. So if you get lucky, you'll get 75% berserker, but so whenever you hit one single enemy, a projectile comes out. You see? There's the projectile. You take a look again. There's another projectile. I'm out of energy. But I'm still gonna mark them within 2 energy. 2 energy usage, because that's how overpowered this build is. But whenever you hit, like, so you have to have Exalted Blade out to be successful. And every time you slash dash an enemy, a projectile comes out. So I'm going to look up here. The projectile is going to go out. So I don't know if you guys can see it. If you can still see it, there it is right there. So every time you slash dash and hit an enemy, a projectile comes out. There it is right there. But yeah, it just went through that wall. It's very important because you can also automatically chain to each enemy, which means if you hit 4 enemies within that slash dash, you're going to do 4 Exalted Blade projectiles, and if you're pointing towards the crowd of enemies, you probably won't even need to use your Exalted Blade. You're just going to need to... God. We'll show it off one more time before we end the video, because I have a tendency just to talk a long time. But here we go. As you can see, the projectile is taken in play. We have 75% attack speed and crispy yellow numbers. Condition overload, too overpowered. The best build for excal by far in terms of raw damage. You want to use that build right there. So, like I said, in a few days, Sylvanegus Prime video coming out, and in about a week and a half maybe, Jack Guitar video coming out. Both very interesting looking melee weapons, and I honestly heard nothing but good things from them, so I decided to grab them. Plus I got the, whatever that mod was called, a very rare mod, or a very rare stance mod. Put on whip weapons, but I don't have the Sword and Shield. Final Harbinger, that's what it's called. Yeah, so I have Final Harbinger. I heard nothing but good things from that. I heard the Sylvanegus Prime are really good, so I'm going to test it out with a good old friend named Loki, and he's gonna help me see those dank damage numbers whenever we're playing. But overall, the Jack Guitar video coming out soon. Both of them I'm gonna use condition overload. Condition overload is something I just got, and we're gonna see a fair usage of in the future. So yeah, future Sylvanegus Prime, Jack Guitar. Beware of it. This is probably my last excal video, unless they come out with another broken augment mod. But yeah. Thanks DE for giving us the chromatic dash build. As you can see, I don't want to brag or anything, but I think I've created one of the best excal builds of all time, especially utilizing chromatic dash. So hopefully you enjoy the video. Please leave a like, possibly subscribe. It would make my day. Peace out.